back for another lovely season of... Hold on, it's not working. Oh, no, it's not working.
No, it's already broken.
We're already breaking it this season. There we go. We're back. We're back for another season of Bits and Caffeine. Season number, what are we on now?
This is 3. This is season 3.
3. And we're back, finally, after 4 months gone from the channel. YouTube has already thrown our channel into the abyss. We will never hear from another subscriber ever again. Our Twitch
I think that might
empty.
be a little false. I hope our Twitch is empty because
we don't post on Twitch.
Yeah.
Oh my
God. Did we create a Twitch account? I might have created one a while back. Okay, yeah.
Our TikTok still alive, even though they said they would ban it around the time we made our last episode. Our Instagram, uploading repo videos. Oh, spoiler alert for the game.
You can blur it.
Whoops.
You can blurt that out. Uploading the videos. Yeah, you got
it's fine. You would have already seen it in the comment or in the title. We are trying to catch back up. Let's start this off. Alex, you want to start us off with a sad apology for the listeners out there?
It's just we've had so much. We've given so much. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, we've been gone for probably 4 or 5 months. So yeah, we apologize for the delay. You know, life happens. You know, we got busy, stuff like that. But we're back.
Unrelated to this job, we work.
Exactly. But yeah, we're back to a degree. We got we don't exactly know what our schedule will be for this upcoming year, but we got plans. We got ideas. So
we'll upload periodically. The goal is to probably upload. We talked about it in the last episode. It's every 2 weeks, but honestly, with the way everything's kind of going right now, we kind of upload as is. I think our goal from now on is probably to do 2 episodes. Is the best way to explain it. We'll do an actual episode gameplay, and then later on we'll upload probably extra clips on an extra thing. That's probably what we're going to do here. So make sure to check on YouTube for that, get notified, or Instagram, any of that stuff. When we start uploading reels and whatnot, that'll be our a sign to come back.
That's our bat symbol in the sky. That's ours.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing we kind of wanted to talk about a bit, we got a couple announcements because we kind of branched out a bit. Us and the Bits and Caffeine team, you know, it's not just us two anymore. Our squad, we have one. Thank you to everybody that's worked with Bits and Caffeine. Even though we don't have a lot of followers, we don't have a lot of anything really. We do actually have, unironically, they don't get paid. So
it's a great way to say it. We have a lot of friends that are involved in our videos. They do not get paid. We let them out of the basement every once in a while.
They don't get paid at all. We let them out a little bit.
We feed them.
That's a little up in the
water. It's not the cleanest, but yeah, we try. We try to.
We try real hard.
Yeah,
but we sometimes don't feed them. But that's besides the point. That's like a later conversation. I think that's for when our apology video comes out next week.
Yeah.
But we do have Bits of Caffeine. I'm going to call it a team, even though it's not really a team. It's more of just a couple people. But that's still a team. But I will say that our BnC Caffeine team is working on a brand new podcast / video series. It's extremely rough right now in terms of how we're doing it because we're still working on getting things all matched up. I'm not sure when the first episode will be coming out, but this will be probably a monthly episode of our new amazing top tier series that I completely forgot the name of now that I just brought that up.
Do you want me to? I mean,
yeah. Do you have it?
Well, I do remember the name. So we're doing a D&D series basically, once a month, like you said. The name of it. Do you want me to say the name of it, or do you want to keep that? Yeah, it is called I almost lost it for a second. It was called the Fractured Samoria. I had it and then I lost it, but I got it back.
Surprisingly, with all the documentation that we have, we don't have the names. They're all like really crappy, like little names instead of the actual name for it.
Yeah,
but yeah, continue.
But yeah, no, I think we're all pretty excited about that. We got a DM, of course, obviously, and then I think 5 players. I think
2. Yep. 2 of us, and then 3 more, including the DM for this. Name's Nathan. He has not shown up on a Bits of Caffeine episode before, so he's new to the group. But we do have, we have one newcomer as well, other than the DM. That's Zach, who has not shown up on a Bits of Caffeine episode before. And he may not show up in that first episode, but he will be showing up. We have a backlog of recordings so far, but we're working on getting edited and then figuring out time frame. But the 2 others that we have is everybody's favorite Dougie, who has shown up in a couple of episodes, I want to think. He showed up in the Minecraft episode, and he's shown up in the, I want to say the Lethal Company episode, but I have no idea off the top of my head.
I'm not sure about the Lethal Company. I think I want to assume, you know what? No, that might not have been. He might not have been in the, I was going all the way back to like CSGO,
RL
CS2.
Craft, but that's another Minecraft
Maybe
one.
RL Craft, yeah.
CS, maybe. She's shown up in a couple, though. We do know that. He's shown up in a couple. Yeah. And then the other, probably more well-known in this case for anyone that's actually been following us, is Anna, who has shown up in, or Lucid Dreamer, who's shown up in God.
Most of them. Probably
Warzone,
most of our episodes.
Lethal Company, Left 4 Dead, not Hunt.
No.
Dead by Daylight.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not Helldivers. She didn't do Helldivers. Fallout 76, Minecraft for a little bit, and then Roblox. Jesus, she's in a lot of these. We should start paying her.
It's okay.
We do not make money off of this. Let me just say for the record. So any forms of payment don't exist
theoretically.
Yeah. So our videos will be uploaded onto the Bits and Caffeine YouTube channel. They will not be uploaded to the actual podcast. So Apple Podcast, Spotify are our 2 main ones. They will be uploaded on a separate show part for that, which you can check out at once it's updated and once we're uploading, you can check it out. Or actually, it may come out a little bit sooner. BnCCaffeine.com will be updated to show that podcast episode as well. So we're going to eventually get there. As of right now, we are looking at getting it edited. We have somebody that's going to be coming in who's also pretty well known within the show as well to do edits to it, and she will be the one working on it. But as of right now, we are working on it. We're working pretty hard. We're getting there. Hopefully.
We're doing some things, yeah. Don't worry about how much they get paid.
Don't worry about that. But anyways, other than that, do we have any more announcements we need to go over? I feel like we did, but I don't remember.
No, I don't think that's... I mean, obviously a lot's happened. We've both traveled a solid amount between the last times we've been on here, but I don't think there's any more like Bits and Caffeine announcements aside from, potentially from here on out, it'll be a somewhat regular upload. But,
hopefully. It's hard to kind of get everything done and edited and sent out in that time frame, but we're going to work on that. It's also kind of a more connected or more connect with the audience here. It's kind of also a little difficult to keep things running when it's not really gaining any traction. That's not on anybody but ourselves, honestly, because we're not tech savvy. We are tech savvy.
We're tech savvy, yeah, but we're not exactly
social savvy.
Social media experts or, content creators isn't exactly our first job.
Yeah, so. And honestly, kind of a best way to kind of look at it, and what I've talked to a couple people about is that people have asked, like, kind of how we, or people ask me, I don't know about you, but how we keep doing this or why we keep doing this. And it's more along the lines of just kind of when we get older, we can look back at this and, funny videos. We have moments. I got a crap ton of clips that I was just thinking of dumping into a video on a second channel or something like that. But like allowing this YouTube and Spotify and Apple Music, all that stuff, or not Apple Music. Apple Podcast kind of gives us availability to kind of keep posting and seeing this and taking a look back later. And I don't do it right as of right now, but honestly, what was it? The Ready or Not content was great, and I sometimes go back to it on and off.
Yeah, I don't think I've. I think the last time I played was with you, and it was unrelated to Bits and Caffeine, but I haven't touched that in a little bit. But it's definitely one of those games I would go back to for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of decent updates. I don't know too much about it. I haven't really stuck up with it too much.
I think we still need to figure out the next video. Hush hush.
But there is one specific video. I'm not gonna spoil it, and we're gonna leave this as it is. There's one game I'm really pushing for.
Is it one I know about yet, or?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Then
I'm hoping, but I want a big group for it, which is going to be a little difficult. But anyways, yeah. So let's kind of continue on here. We're going to get into the actual bite-sized weekly portion of this episode. Skipping over, even though we've been talking for 12 minutes now. Kind of the main topic we have today is a talk on the current. We're going to go for a big topic first for the very first episode back. The gaming landscape so far between when we last uploaded to now has, I would say, changed a little bit. We do talk a lot about how indie development is growing, and supporting indie developers is extremely important in this day and age. But I kind of want to take a 180 look at it and take a look at the AAA developers and kind of go over kind of what they've been doing, go over upcoming GTA 6 release, and also kind of like Nintendo with the physical Switch 2 that got announced as well, and kind of talking a bit about that and talking about what these effects of AAA development could possibly affect, I would say, their side of the gaming space, because I like to also kind of separate between AAA games and indie games. But yeah, you want to kind of start this off here?
Sure. Of course, everybody knows about the tariffs that happened recently. That's kind of unrelated to what he's talking about, but we'll kind of get into that real quick with Nintendo, of course, then them releasing the Switch 2 and the I think I forget exactly how much the console is going to cost, but I think the games were going to cost $80 or $90 because of the tariffs, partially because of the tariffs. And that's
so the console itself is going to cost $450, and just to kind of get this out of the way as well, game cost digitally is going to be $80, and physical is going to be $90.
Okay, yeah, got it. Yeah, it's that's a lot of money for games, obviously, as we've talked about, for like a lot of AAA games recently, kind of went from like 60 to 70, that being kind of the standard. And now it kind of feels like 80 or 90 if with the upcoming Switch. So, obviously that's not ideal for the consumers that want to buy either one of the games. If you want to buy the digital version or the actual, physical version. Yeah, I don't know. I personally don't have a Switch and don't plan on getting a Switch 2. It's not really my thing, handheld stuff. I know you have a Stream Deck, right?
I have a Steam Deck, but I also do have a Switch.
That's right. Yeah,
so
Steam Deck.
Yeah, I haven't used the Switch in like years, but I do have it. I will also kind of point out, even though you said it was unrelated to this topic, the tariffs do have an effect apparently on the Switch. Is that they're saying that they may go up.
Oh, they may go up even. Okay.
Yeah, it may go up in price.
Yeah. No, it's just probably overall right now, just unrelated to video games or whatever. Right now, if you're trying to buy anything tech related, right now is probably not the time. I don't know if you've seen GPU prices recently. But,
I don't even want to look.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend trying to upgrade your GPU right now, because I looked into it just for the sake of it to see what it would cost to like get a 5090, for example. Yeah, no, like I could have probably bought my last car twice for what it would cost to buy a current 5090 right now, which is crazy because it's a GPU. But yeah, no, it's just the prices for everything is just absolutely skyrocketing right now, and it's probably not going to get better for a while. So that's
it's definitely seems to have some kind of effect. The main part that I'm looking at is, when it comes to the Switch setup, is, I'm going to be honest, even if they try to get a bunch of Switches into America before tariffs increase and whatnot, it's not going to matter when it comes to scalpers in America.
Oh, Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's not really something that we're going to find a way to deal with in time, probably. So those are probably going to be gone. It's just a lot of hoops that Nintendo has to go through. And at the same time, I don't see a reason to buy the Switch unless you're a big Nintendo fan and you want to bend over and give.
I don't feel like it's as big of an upgrade from the Switch One. I don't know too much about the Switch One's graphics or whatever. I think they promised like PS4 performance, on the Switch 2 handheld, which I mean may not sound that crazy when the PS5 is out, but obviously for a handheld that's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
I just think I don't know if it's really going to be that much of an upgrade from the Switch One, because I don't feel like the Switch One is truly that degraded at this point. I think it's still a perfectly fine handheld option, especially when you also have other handheld options like the Steam Deck, etc., and other stuff. So I don't know if it's worth it. And if you as a consumer do want to get your hands on a Switch 2, if you are a Nintendo fanboy or just you use it often, so you want to get the upgraded version, which makes sense, you're probably going to be paying a premium unless you can get into the line at Best Buy right before it comes out, before the scalpers, before everybody else. You're probably going to be paying a premium to get it, which obviously is not ideal for the gaming community as a whole.
Yeah, it's the best way to kind of look at it is this is a company in of itself that I guess prides itself on its IPs and making as much money as possible within the given content that they have. So basically, a good way to look at this is I am a young child who I am a 25-year-old kid in his basement who really wants a kid. He's an adult, technically. He's in his basement, and I really want to give all my money to Nintendo. How do I play the new Mario Kart that comes out on the Switch 2? First, I have to pay $450 for the Nintendo Switch. Next,
at least,
I probably want a controller with that. And if I want to keep buying Nintendo products, I have to spend however much money on a Switch controller, which is, hold on, we're getting there. Okay, Walmart has one for $69. Okay, I now have, this one says 90. Oh, for the Switch 2 controllers. Okay, this says 90. I was wrong. Okay, we're going to say $90. All right, so we're already pretty much in the hole. But
I mean, at that point, you could buy an Xbox Series X or a PS5
or buy a PC. What do I do now? I really need, if I want to play Mario Kart, I'm going to probably want to play it online so I can play with my friends. Okay, well, I need to pay for Nintendo Online because unlike, I don't know if Microsoft, or I don't know if Xbox still does this, but Nintendo has a whole online thing you have to pay for every month, which monthly comes out to $4. Yearly, it's $20, which isn't too bad.
Yeah.
And you can also pay for a family plan, apparently, that has it's $35 that covers up 6 or 8 accounts. And you also get some perk with Nintendo Music, but we're just going to jump over that.
Okay. Definitely not the worst subscription service I've heard of, that, like, especially with, even Xbox Game Pass is only $10 a month. And that's a lot that they give you for that, but $4 a month or $20 per year is pretty cheap for most. But
services. That's just for online play.
Yeah, fair.
And that also includes their version of Discord, basically, which even in their introduction, I probably haven't seen this, but in their introduction video of it, the games were lagging while they were streaming it, and the characters were lagging. Ideal. It was not good. But okay, there we go. I now have online. I gotta buy the actual game now. If I want to go into GameStop and buy it, the physical copy, that little cartridge that they usually are, I gotta pay $90. I gotta pay $90 for it, and then you're good. You can play then. And then if you want to connect it to the TV screen, you have to pay for a whole other software or hardware. But like, you have the basic setup, so you're playing close to, let's say,
ranging in $700 for the console plus game. A single game.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly.
Now you can take off the controller and whatnot, but like Nintendo has good products. Nintendo has good IPs. Nintendo doesn't always use the good IPs, but they just sit on their IPs. Now, at the same time, my biggest kind of gripe with it is that they are basically creating an environment where you have to buy their stuff. You buy the Switch, you have to buy their content. Now, obviously, there's an eShop with other content on it, other games and whatnot, but it's still, you're stuck into their environment, kind of like an Apple environment. And take that from me, I own 2 Apple phones, so
fair. You understand the pain. Yeah, honestly, I was kind of drawing in my head. I was kind of drawing connections between the stuff Nintendo has been doing and Apple. So glad you brought that up too.
It's definitely they're creating their own environment for it, and also they made comments saying that not all Switch 1 games are going to can be played on the Switch 2. So that's that's a negative. I'm really hoping though, personally. Do you think this kind of attitude towards IP and hardware for a specific company and sticking in that environment is going to stick with other companies in the gaming sphere? I can see Sony doing that.
Well,
and they've already tried with Helldivers.
I don't know. I feel like, I guess I hope not. Just for the openness of other games and stuff and other studios. Yeah, I'm not sure. I could definitely see some other ones like you mentioned, Sony. I could see, unfortunately, I could maybe even see Rockstar doing something like that, especially when GTA 6 comes out. Another topic we'll probably get to in a second, which could be pretty sad because that game, the base price for that, I can almost guarantee you is not going to be $70. Just honestly knowing the way the world's going right now. So,
if it is, that'll be hilarious, but it's definitely not.
I highly doubt it.
Yeah. The whole thing, though, with it is I think the only company that is genuinely working to create their platform can be played on multiple different devices, can be played kind of throughout everything is Xbox. Mm-hmm. I know we don't like Microsoft here. Well, okay, I like Microsoft a little bit. I
kind of like Microsoft,
too.
They
are a monopoly. Yeah. But at the same time, like, they're the only people that seem to really want to connect gamers on different hardware. And it's become more of an issue recently when playing with, shout out, Alex's sister Dan. Oh my God. Alex's sister.
Real close.
Oh my God. Alex's sister's boyfriend, Dan.
There you go. Shout out Dan if he's listening. He doesn't
shout out
watch
Dan.
These.
He probably won't. I'm going to cut that. But playing with him, he has a PS5, and the amount of games that can play between PC or crossplay between PC and PS5 are very limited, extremely limited.
Yeah,
and it's extremely annoying. I don't know how Phasmophobia is one of the main games that it has that, but that's another topic.
Yeah, it is. It is what it is.
But yeah, I can definitely see companies going the route of Nintendo. I just don't think that, especially in the PC market, I don't think that's possible with piracy and Steam. The size of Steam and
all it carries, I sure hope that studios don't find a way to make it that closed off where you have to buy their stuff, have to get their subscription services to run their games. So looking at you, Origin. I look at all the companies that decided, hey, we're going to go off of Steam and we're going to create our own Steam so that people download those, and then they all came back. Looking at you, EA. Looking at you, Ubisoft. I can't think of any more off the top of my head, but they're probably really bad. I know, but Bethesda tried to create their own, but I don't think it was outside of Steam. So
Battle.net.
That's really
Battle.net's not that bad.
Battle.net's still most of their games you can play on Steam. Well, I don't know most. Overwatch, of course.
Yeah.
But COD and stuff like that are the big ones. I think you can still play.
Sweeney, I'm looking at you. Epic Games.
I don't know what that is.
Epic Games, even though you say you give your developers more money from their buys, it doesn't matter in the long run when most of your games are just crypto slop. We were working on a game with Unreal, and I'm kind of regretting saying that.
I don't think they're gonna find a way to get to us on that. I think we'll be all right.
Anyways, kind of another game series similar to this. If we want to go into the next kind of portion of this topic, is Take-Two Interactive. Hey, GTA 5. That was a big game. That got how much? Well, what's its market share?
I have no idea. I know it was just huge, though. I mean,
How
that's
much
still one of
money
the biggest
did
games
GTA
ever.
5 make? $8.5 billion.
Not surprised.
So when they announce, hey, we're going to make a sequel X amount of years later, obviously it's a big deal. And I'm also a little disappointed it's coming out this year because Game of the Year, I kind of want Split Fiction to win. Just saying.
No, that's
I'm
fair.
not praying on its downfall, but...
When is GTA 6 coming out then?
No idea. I would say Q4 is the best bet, but I'm not...
Sure. Okay. I just looked it up, and I mean, this may not exactly be 100% accurate, but it says December 31st, 2025. Can you win Game of the Year if it comes out the last day of the year? I feel like you can't.
Everyone vote for Split Fiction. No Safaris. I need him up on stage again. Yeah. All right. Anyways.
No, GTA 6 will certainly be, when it releases, will certainly be a big day. I guess it's probably better that it releases on kind of a pseudo holiday, because I'm not going to lie, I've even just talking with some of my friends at work. I imagine that day, a lot of people would be, if it was a day, like a working day, like a Friday or something like that, a lot of people would probably be calling off that day, to play the game the first day that it comes out and stuff. So it's probably a good thing it comes out on New Year's Eve, if that is actually when it comes out. So,
I probably won't buy it, honestly. But we'll get into that topic.
I enjoyed GTA 5. That's the only GTA I've played. I may or may not play GTA 6 early. I'm sure I'll play it at some point, but I may or may not buy it early. Surely won't pre-order. We've made those mistakes.
Well, yeah. When I said when did GTA 6 come out? I meant when did GTA 5 come out? GTA 5 came out. I was 13, and my parents did not want me playing GTA, and I don't think I got GTA until I was in college.
I also don't think I played it till I was in college. I mean, I probably could have gotten it earlier if I wanted to. I just didn't buy it till I was in college. So after I played many other big games like Fallout and Skyrim and stuff.
Yeah, it's just I mean, I didn't hate GTA. I wasn't a big fan of its story personally. The main reason I played, I have 220 hours on it. Main reason I played was only for the online aspect. That's
fair. I think that's what definitely kept people coming back. I don't think. I mean, I know a solid amount of people loved the storylines and stuff, the main game, but the reason I think it's so popular is definitely the multiplayer aspect, the playing with other people, the ability, the amount of stuff it lets you do in that world with other people around you as well.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously there's stuff that parents probably don't want their kids to have, like there's strip clubs and stuff like that. But there's also just like you could go into an airport and hijack a plane and then fly that plane. There's stuff like that you just can't do in other games. I think that's why that's such a popular game. Another one like RDR2. I can't think of the actual name. I know you know it too.
Red Dead Redemption?
Red Dead Redemption, yes. Another, it just allows you to do so many things. Another one from Rockstar. Just two extremely popular games. I mean, GTA probably takes the cake in terms of popularity, but they just allow you to do so much stuff, especially with the online aspect as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a way to look at it is the... I mean, when I was younger, I was playing way worse than what I did in GTA 5 in terms of like Payday 2. Anyways, but yeah, so kind of the main aspect in creating a link between this conversation to Nintendo is that GTA 6, when it releases, it's going to be probably the biggest game ever release-wise. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's coming out, oh gosh, let's see, when... or how much money did GTA 6 cost to make? We're looking at a total of $2 billion.
Jesus.
So, pretty big jump between prices.
Yeah.
I mean, for a good example on that, GTA 5 came out in 2013, and it cost $265 million to make. So this better be the most amazing game I've ever touched in my life for $2 billion. But
we'll see. It's I mean, I'm sure I've seen some of the trailers. It obviously looks amazing in those, but that doesn't exactly translate to the game itself.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be huge. I mean, it is Rockstar. It's not like Bethesda. I guess the biggest game I was waiting for in recent years was probably Starfield, which
we saw how
of course didn't come out so well.
We saw how that went.
Yeah, that didn't go out so well.
There's a host trials episode of it. Everyone check it out. There's a host trials episode.
Yeah, that's Bethesda with a buggy mess. I mean, it was always going to be buggy, but then it was specifically Bethesda buggy. I figure. Yeah, you did. Okay, I think there was a way around that. Now that I've known more about the game, but yeah, I think Rockstar will probably not have as much of a buggy mess per se. But I'm at least kind of hoping that it's not, that it lives up to the standard. But I feel like there's no way that any game can live up to the hype that GTA 6 has put on itself at this point. So,
yeah. But the biggest issue is when it comes to a big game like this coming out, this game's probably going to cost a lot more. Even if they had it at the normal $70 price tag, I hate how that's a normal thing now. Even if they have it at that normal price tag, it's still going to, it's still going to make enough money back. I'm 99% sure it will.
Oh, I would be so certain they'd probably still make way more than they made on GTA 5. But just knowing corporations, I guess I don't know too much about Rockstar themselves, but knowing where we're going with the world, I don't see $70 being the price. Probably minimum 80. It might be 100. It's not impossible, and people will buy it. Yeah,
but the main thing is it's going to be $100. I made a comment to my brother yesterday about it, and he said it was 120. Don't know where he got that from, so don't know if that's true or not. But
it might be. I feel like 100. That's my guess, because I feel like they're probably not going to go over that, like bare minimum 3-digit number. But I feel like that's just my guess for it, as at least 100. For the base game. And then you got like the premium games, which used to be $60 for the base game for whatever game or whatever. And that was a standard for a really long time. And then it was, like $80 or $100 for like the premium deluxe content stuff. But now it's probably more like $100 for the base game for that game at least. And then like probably $200 for the deluxe version, probably something like that.
Yeah,
which is crazy. But the way
it's going to be insane. But my biggest issue is that people are going to take this concept, or not people, companies are going to take this concept and be like, okay, let's make our games cost that much, even though they don't, one, not spending that much money, two, their game is not probably as well known as GTA is.
Yeah.
And just three, it's just not going to live up to the same hype as GTA 6. I don't think there's a game out there that can do that.
I think there's only one, maybe. And maybe it's because I'm kind of in that circle, so maybe that's the reason that it's up there in that level of hype. But the only one I could think of, which obviously isn't coming out this year, but is Skyrim, the next Skyrim, the next Elder Scrolls, sorry.
Let me quote for the record. Okay. All right, real quickly.
Sure.
On April 21st, a remaster is going to drop, and I hope I upload this before this time frame so I can come back to this, all right? And I can laugh, all right? Today is now the 17th of April. On April 21st, and if it doesn't come out, I'm cutting this from the video.
Okay.
Skyrim Oblivion is going to launch a silent remaster.
Do you have sources for this?
I have some.
Okay.
There's conversations.
Okay.
Unrelated. This is completely unrelated to our topic. And
well, actually, I forget. I haven't seen that roadmap in so long. I think it's been like 2 years. But you remember when Bethesda released like their roadmap for the next like 5 years or something like that? I think it was right before Starfield or right around Starfield. So yeah, I wonder if
that's some secret imagery that I will not share publicly.
I see. Okay.
Some stuff I have.
But, all right. I mean that could be kind of cool. But yeah, I just overall think Elder Scrolls 6 is probably the only game that could rival in terms of popularity, in terms of like expectations. As
13 days ago, on the official Skyrim Oblivion Steam page, they deleted the trailer.
They deleted the trailer for the original?
Yes, the original. So it's coming. I swear to God. Something's coming. Anyways, but yeah, so I feel like companies are definitely going to take that, even if it's Skyrim. I think even the same thing. They will take that information of GTA 6
They'll run with
and be like, hey, we can put our games to $100 and people will buy them. And people will buy them. That's the problem with today. People will buy them.
Yeah, it's the problem particularly isn't the fact that Rockstar, I mean, we're obviously coming up with numbers. out of nowhere right now. There's no confirmed numbers for the price of the game, but 100 is my guess. There's no like the biggest problem with that is really not the fact that Rockstar is going to make it $100. The biggest problem is the fact that they're still going to make way more money than they spent on it if they did price it at $100 and maybe at 120, just because people are going to buy it. So
yeah, it's definitely something to look at in the near future. Definitely, I feel like both the Nintendo aspect and the GTA aspect are both going to affect the AAA gaming industry side. Obviously, we still need to decide who their games come out from like $10 to like $20, and it's always like top tier games and whatnot. So if AAA fails us, I mean, they've already failed us enough, in my opinion. I'm sick and tired of AAA. Even though we play a lot of AAA, I'm still sick and tired of it. There's always indie. They got my back. Shout out to
all the indie studios out there.
I love you.
BnC Caffeine. Yeah.
Mwah. All right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I definitely feel like that with this roadmap we're looking at now, AAA gaming may implode is the best way to explain it.
Fair.
People don't want the trash that they're coming out with.
We'll see. I mean, if I think the biggest. I think Nintendo's, of course, a pretty big thing, and we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, I think the GTA 5, like how that game itself plays out, is probably pretty telling for the future. Because if somehow, some way, that game is actually a critical failure, then actually maybe that's kind of a good thing. That would kind of signal that that's not an idea to price your games so high, if they even do. If that game comes out being $70, I'd say that's probably worth it. Considering every other AAA game is at least that much right now. But yeah, if they price it at 100 or 120 and it's a massive failure, then that might be in some ways a good thing, just to kind of signal that, fans don't want this. Mm-hmm. We want to go back to $60, $70 games. We want that. But yeah, no, even if it was $70, which I highly doubt it, they'd make more than enough money off of it to cover what they spent on it. And then some.
Yeah. And kind of what I want to add this to the side here, just to talk it over a little bit. I mean, if you want a good example of kind of studios currently failing, we can take a look at Bungie as an option. Everyone loves Bungie. They not really created, but they made a Halo they made a couple of Halo games. They did a couple other things. They are not the original team that everyone so loves. So whenever somebody's like, hey, I really love Bungie, I love all the games they've made, and everything like that, it's not the original team, no matter what you think. Even if they put in their title, by the creators of blank, it is never the original team. Also, I may have been wrong. They did make Halo. Or, well, 404. I thought 404 made Halo. Or 434 made Halo. But we're not going to talk about it further.
That's fine. Yeah.
But so they came out with this amazing top-tier game. Everyone loved it. Bungie is set up specifically with it. They have a lot of different... they got acquired by... Oh my god. The way that Bungie is set up, Bungie got acquired by PlayStation early on because of their certain games that they've made. For example, I don't know if you heard of this, but Destiny.
Yeah, and Destiny 2.
Right now,
yeah,
I'd say the Destiny player base is kind of dying off a little bit, and they really need to make a good game. Now, what has Sony been doing this year? Concord. Everyone loves that game, right? It's gone. Concord was horrible. Concord isn't even on sale anymore and has completely died. Obviously... Bungie needs to step up, and they need to show that they're able to do live service games, and that they've done it before and they can do it again. And they're coming out with a new game called Marathon. Now, if Marathon fails, Bungie is going to fail, and Bungie will just turn into basically Sony, and Sony will take full control basically, and they will just be a name in the past. I feel like this is me personally, but with Marathon, this really seems like the last straw. So. If and to kind of bring this back here, if studios believe that they can hike up their prices, they're going to have another failure like Concord, and that failure could lead to a bunch of well-known studios going bankrupt. Now, Bungie has Sony money, so that may be completely wrong, and this is going to be awkward, but we'll see. That's for sure. But with that, do you have anything else left to add?
No. I think that's pretty much all I got so far.
All right, and then we'll leave it as is for now. That was our lovely conversation. You guys want to add into the conversation, please reach out to us, because I would love to talk more about it. So, we don't have a Discord or anything, so I guess reach out to us on Twitter. We don't post on Twitter, but I will get notified, or Instagram. Either one of those, honestly. Anyways, we're going to be going to a little commercial break. No commercials, obviously. But when we come back, we will be doing host trials, which I've already spoiled the game for that. So you want to call us out, Alex?
It's fine. Yep. So we'll see you guys in a second. There may or may not be I know we said there's no ad, but we may or may not have a Chicken Place ad coming up. So
the horrors.
That's fine. If it happens, it happens.
We can't. Dougie's actually moving into an apartment this week, so there's no way he can.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. All right. We will see you in a sec. And welcome back to the Bits and Caffeine host trials section. As you guys already know, we've kind of already talked about the episode a little bit. You guys haven't been gone for very long. I imagine it's been about 13 seconds since you heard me last.
We missed you in those 13 seconds.
we missed you. So, of course, the game that we played, the host trials game, was REPO. This is going to be a little bit different from our typical ones where we'll talk about a game, then we'll go in, we'll play it, and then we'll come back after we've played it and talk about it again. But for this one, we've already played it, so we're just going to talk about it. But yeah, we played some REPO. We played a few different sessions, and some where we recorded, some where we didn't. And it's a pretty fun game. I definitely have some ideas and similar games that I'd compare it to. But what did you think about the game, Sky?
I love it. I mean, a really good example of how much I love it is it came out February 26th, and I currently have 35 hours in the game. So
yeah, I think you got me beat. And actually I can check real quick.
I'm still old though, so they haven't updated since release, which is kind of sad. But they're a brand new team, just getting started, kind of thing. So, well, not really getting started. They have a game before this, but getting started, I guess, in the popular limelight. So, because honestly, if you look at the statistics of the game, there's currently 105,000 players online at the current moment, and with an all-time peak of 271,000. So this small indie studio has kind of seen popularity in the past couple months. But at the same time, I mean, we should probably talk about the elephant in the room when it comes to REPO, is that this is just another multiplayer horror game, a part of that genre of that has seemed to come out of the woodworks, starting with Lethal Company.
Of course, yeah, definitely the biggest name, and I think currently, and we may change the YouTube name, but right now it's basically just, is this the next Lethal Company? Which you play the game, you hear about the game, and it draws a lot of comparisons with Lethal Company. It starts with 6 players as opposed to 4, but you go in, you get loot, you come out, and that's kind of the basis of the game, but you're trying to fight monsters and stuff like that. And it draws a lot of comparisons with Lethal Company, but I think it does a good job, I guess, in differing itself in some ways. Of course, like just the physics alone are extremely different from how Lethal Company works and stuff like that. I think if the physics worked more like Lethal Company, just more in that, you pick something up, you put it in your inventory, and you work off of a specific specific amount of weight that you can carry, something like that. I think that would probably maybe have drawn a little bit too much of a connection to Lethal Company, and maybe it wouldn't have done as successful. I think, in my opinion, one of the funnest things about this game is just the different physics and the aspects that it goes, how it takes to pick something up, how you can pick somebody else up. And you can even fight the monsters by picking them up if you have enough strength, which I think can be a pretty fun later game kind of thing. I think the monsters also are pretty big, diverse difference from Lethal Company, with a lot of different types of monsters, but also just like they look different, they act different. So, but I think you take the physics aspects away, and basically these two games between Lethal Company and REPO are basically the same thing. But I think they did a good enough job in differentiating in those two ways to make it a very fun experience that isn't a rip-off of Lethal Company. The best way to put it in my eyes. So
yeah, I feel like I kind of compared it to Lethal Company a little bit too early on, but yeah, it's just in the same space as Lethal Company do the aspect of funny team game horror. But when it comes to actual looking at the differences between the two, I actually like Repo more than Lethal Company, just mostly the physics aspect alone is just hilarious. Also, I'm less scared of Lethal Company. Not Lethal Company. I'm less scared of Repo than I would be in Lethal Company, but that's also because Repo's main aesthetic is
Repo's main aesthetic, I think, to make it more funny. How they move, how they like when you talk, how the mouth opens and how the eyes look at you and stuff like that. I think it's all designed to make it funny. So I get that. I get where that it's more designed to specifically be funny, whereas Lethal Company maybe not so much. So yeah.
So they definitely they are working really hard at creating a good game. It's already a good game as it is, but they're working more and more. The modding scene for it is great.
Yeah, another big like a comparison in my eyes to Lethal Company, I think, is just the sheer number of mods that have already come out for it. I haven't seen the number per se, but I've just seen a lot of different mods related with it and stuff, and it's just got a big community around it, very similar to Lethal Company, and just like the I mean, not to continue to draw more comparisons between the two, but in a way, I could see this kind of just like taking the crown from Lethal Company, at least for a little bit. They just function extremely similarly. That their overarching goal is basically the exact same thing with how you play the game. It's just the physics aspect is very different. The monsters are different. I definitely could see this kind of replacing Lethal Company in a way, in my eyes.
Well, at the same time, Lethal Company is Lethal Company. They only have about 6,000 concurrent players right now. So Lethal Company is kind of
in a way right now it definitely has replaced Lethal Company. I think then it's definitely surpassed it right now at least. And who knows? And in 4 or 5 months, maybe that's not the case. Maybe Lethal Company gets back to a more steady base, whereas Repo dies down a little bit. But yeah, no, Lethal Company was that huge game that came onto the scene. Nobody expected it to be as popular as it was, and then it just took over the world, beat Call of Duty in sales, stuff like that. And this Repo is kind of just doing the same thing now. It's just 2 years later or a year and a half later.
Yeah, so. It's definitely put a good spin on the concept of multiplayer. And in all, I mean, Lethal Company hasn't got an update since about 4 months ago. So there's not really much to kind of go off of anymore for it until they update again. And then we'll see what the player count jump back up. Or it may not. It's all dependent. I mean, it's hard for indie developers to kind of keep games updated, but people get bored, people move on. That's just
true. I kind of feel like the only way for Lethal Company to surpass Repo to get past, like if we're just talking about number of player count or whatever, in my eyes, I think it would kind of require people to stop playing Repo, because I feel like the same people that enjoyed Lethal Company so much and played that so often, are the same people that are now playing Repo so much. And same to go with like some friends I have from work that used to play Lethal Company a lot. Now they play Repo instead. Now, like I said, that may not always be the case. If we go 4 or 5, 6 months in the future, Lethal Company may be more popular again. But as of right now, I think, especially when you pointed out the numbers of how many people are currently playing Repo versus currently playing Lethal Company, I definitely think Repo has taken the crown, at least so to speak, for now.
Yeah, and kind of looking at the setup of our kind of looking back to kind of how our gameplay was throughout that time, I definitely think you can kind of tell we've played the game a little bit already, but then at the same time, understand the concept of the game. But really, when we keep playing it, it just comes out with different outcomes. Even though you understand the monster's attacks, you understand how the physics work in the game and whatnot, you can still come back to it. It's just one of those kind of games that you keep coming back to.
Yeah, and I think that's the same thing that's making this popular is the same thing that made Lethal Company popular. It's just you can keep coming back to it, but it's playing with friends, and it's always different, even if it's the same monsters and the same physics and the same garbage that you're picking up and working with. It can always lead to different things. I think one of the very last times we played Repo, not recording wise, we had an interesting glitch where I jumped into what's it called? I jumped into a piano, broke the piano. I think that is maybe supposed to break the piano. I understand that now, but on my screen it broke the piano, and we probably were a little screwed because we didn't have enough money. But on Sky's screen, it didn't actually break the piano, and then that same piano that didn't break for me, or that did break for me and was completely gone for me, ended up killing me, which is just a little random thing that can happen. That's just adds to, I think, the fun of the game with just how replayable it is because of how many different things can happen. So yeah, I think I'll also say with the video, I think it might have been both. I don't think it was my the start of the video that we have. I don't think it was my very first game of Repo, but I know for a fact I hadn't seen all of the monsters yet. So even in like quite literally, I think the first minute, I hadn't seen the duck. I didn't know what that did. And the same thing with the skull thing. When that literally killed 2 people, I think, in the first minute of the video. Like, just I had never seen that before, so I reacted very interestingly. Yeah, just screaming. Basically, I had no idea how to react. Just saw a skull. I mean, yeah, what are you supposed to do?
Top tier gameplay. But yeah, I mean, I definitely think that our Repo experience has been very positive so far. Obviously, it's a recommendation, but most likely everyone's already played it, so it's not anything that's...
Yeah.
If you haven't played it, I recommend
this isn't an
it.
under-the-radar game that you've like, oh, I've never heard of that game, or like, I heard it from somebody. If you're in the video game space and you've played Lethal Company before, you almost assuredly have played Repo now, or at least seen somebody play Repo.
Yeah, and honestly, as of right now, we're kind of looking into maybe branching out a bit and kind of not sticking away from popular games, but kind of maybe doing a little bit more in the line of
less known games.
Yeah, less known games.
Yeah.
We got a couple options to work with. We're just kind of seeing what sticks. That's the kind of best way to put it as of right now. But I definitely think the developers of Repo are going to be working hard at creating updates. They're already posting basically weekly, going over content they've worked on and what kind of content they want to see in Repo. So it's not like they're just being quiet. I was going to say unlike Lethal Company, but I genuinely don't know if he does any updates or anything. I've never actually seen him.
Yeah, I don't know what he looks like, and I've never seen any videos from him or anything like that.
I
think he's more on just I think he's less of an indie studio and more of just an indie developer, you know.
What was his name? His name's Zeekers, creator of Lethal Company. 23.
Young whippersnapper.
Let's see. I don't see anything in terms of I don't see anything in terms of any updates for Lethal Company or anything like that. That's kind of sad. I want Lethal Company to do well, so. But I mean, it's kind of the same loop as it's kind of the same loop with most games nowadays, where it's just kind of a popular game comes out, everybody enjoys it, and then they just stop playing it, and then eventually maybe they'll come back later on to try out new updates or whatnot. But the initial boost of a game is there and gone. I would say Repo is kind of in the middle right now. I wouldn't say it's too popular compared to most, but you're definitely seeing it on your social media and whatnot. But
yeah, absolutely,
it's definitely going to get to a point where it'll slowly die out, and then we're back to square one, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah, I feel like that definitely is the case for a lot of games. Like I'll say Helldivers, not to say that it died per se, but I know that it was huge for a few months, and then I think 6 or 7 months after it came out, it was, nowhere near as many people were playing it then as they were in the first few months of it coming out. But I think, and I definitely think the same is probably true for Lethal Company, but I think that was a game that kind of stuck around a little bit more than others. Maybe not a game you saw on socials as often or on YouTube, etc., but definitely a game that, I think still had a consistent player base, which is unusual when it comes to these games that just blow up and then normally they'll die out. But I feel like Lethal Company was a little kind of different in that sense. And so I'm interested to see how Repo goes, because it feels so extremely like Lethal Company and, how it's started and how popular it is right now. So, I'm interested to see how long it lasts, or if it does die out, or if Lethal Company just kind of takes the crown back from it at some point.
Yeah, I will say, though, that it is, even though Repo is popular, it is not the most popular indie game right now. So there is that. I don't know if we'll do an episode on the most popular indie game because I don't know how YouTube will like it.
I actually don't even know what you mean by like
Schedule 1 is the most popular indie game right now with a total of 208,000 players. Mm-hmm. So
I definitely could see us doing one if we wanted to, but we'll leave
very
that to
difficult with all of the. I would say it's probably going to be really difficult with all of the drugs in the game. I don't know if that's something that we can get around.
We could post it as like a members only content on YouTube. Start that up.
We don't have no, but no, I'm not worried about YouTube. Worried about that. I'm not worried about people worried about that. I'm worried about YouTube.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We could do it like as a members only thing on YouTube.
Unrelated, actually related to REPO. Alex, our lovely video editor here, makes our great videos, so 100% recommend check it out. The video has already been uploaded before we recorded this due to just scheduling conflicts, which is fine. But the funny thing is, the video has been live for about a day or two now, and we already have a copyright strike on the video.
No, that I knew was going to happen. Instantly. That I actually 100% no. That one I knew was going to happen. I think I was looking back through our copyright strikes from before, but no, that one I 100% knew was going to happen. That one was straight up intentional. Like that was inevitable. I left it in there for intentional purposes.
Yeah, but also we have we have that video's copyright striked, but we also have one of our older videos.
It was the
partially blocked.
The other, because that one I actually don't know.
A 5-second song that got us blocked.
So I think there's actually completely unrelated to the podcast section of this. I think there is a way for us to tell YouTube to block that out. Like there's a couple of ways we can go about doing that, and then it'll unblock it from stuff. But I don't think it's blocked in most places. I don't think it's like blocked
Fetty Wap song
in US. Is it the Fetty Wap song?
Yeah, 679 is the name of the song. It played for less than 5 seconds.
Yeah, I think if you want to just hear,
and it's me dying.
Oh, okay. We can go into we could go into that. Like, there's ways for you to take action. I guess you can erase the song, you can replace the song, you can trim out the segment. All the above would just change the video a little bit, and then it would be unblocked. But I don't believe. Yeah, so this video can't be seen in some territories affecting 1% of your audience based on your historical watch time in the past year. I don't think it's a problem. I don't think it's affecting us at all. So I don't think it's a big thing. And the thing for our copyright strike on the repo is it's not blocked anywhere. It's just we couldn't make money off of it, but we also don't make money off of it anyway. So I don't think it's a problem.
Yeah, there's no worries. But yeah, I think Repo Company. I think Repo is a wonderful game though, and
absolutely,
even though we got copyright strike, it's great.
Well, it had nothing to do with the Repo, the game. You guys just gotta. We're talking a lot about copyright strikes, but you guys just got to go to YouTube, Bits of Caffeine, and figure it out. Yeah, figure out why.
Watch our content, please. Alex works really hard on it. But anyways, I think we're gonna leave this on here for now, and we will see you all here in the next episode. Next episode, gameplay wise, we don't know, but we're hoping to just have it out in time.
We'll have it out. We'll have it out. We'll figure out when later, later date. But yeah, we'll have out something eventually.
Hopefully.
All right.
And with that, I think we end this off here. Thank you all so much for watching. You can check out our social media or our socials. Go to bnCcaffeine.com or click the link down in the notes. And we will see you guys in about 2 weeks.
Yep. See you guys. Bye.